let's go straight to Kabul, where Charles Levinson is standing by to tell us about what's been going on between President Karzai and President Obama. What happened to cause this?
Well, after the shooting last Sunday by the U.S. soldier of 16 Afghan civilians, tensions have really sort of spiked between the two leaders.
Now we appear to be losing Charles's audio here at the moment, but I think we'll get it back in a moment. Okay, stand by. We're gonna get him back. Oh, great, we've got him back now. Keep back up about 10 seconds. Obviously, there's tension because of the shooting, and there's other tensions too. What's now going on between the two presidents?
Well, basically, President Karzai today said that he doesn't believe the U.S. account of what happened. He thinks there was more than one shooter responsible for the shooting of 16 civilians last Sunday. He said the Americans haven't cooperated with an Afghan delegation sent to investigate the shooting, and he said he's at, quote, the end of the rope, in terms of this. He said this behavior has to stop. It really remarks, signals a fairly dramatic sort of ramping up of pressure on the United States by President Karzai.
And this comes on the heels of yet another tragedy in Afghanistan. Tell us about this Turkish helicopter crash.
Right, you had a Turkish helicopter with 12 soldiers flying in eastern Kabul. It crashed in a residential neighborhood, hit a house where a family was living, killed 2 young girls in addition to the 12 Turkish soldiers. This is important because, one, the civilian deaths, 2 young girls, emotional, will stoke further anger in the Afghan streets towards coalition military activities, and the death of the Turkish soldiers could also undermine the support for the Afghan mission among Turks. Remember, Turkey is one of just 2 Muslim majority countries in NATO, so its presence, its role is seen as sort of critical to sort of maintaining, it's critical to NATO's mission.
What sense do you have about whether this will be resolved quickly and whether the two leaders will manage to sort of make things nice again?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, the U.S. officials seem to be sort of downplaying this, saying that in private talks there's much less daylight between the two leaders than is suggested in Mr. Karzai's public comments. They're in the middle of negotiations over the strategic partnership agreement, and Karzai's sort of very combative public comments could be a negotiating tactic. At the same time, his comments are strong. They seem to be escalating. He's showing no signs of backing down. And if it really is just bluster or rhetoric, he's backing himself into a corner. It's going to be hard for him to climb down from.
And how much of this comes down to Karzai saying that he doubts that only one U.S. soldier committed the massacre, as U.S. officials have said? I mean, that's basically all but saying, the U.S. officials are not telling the truth or are lying.
Yeah, I mean, it's bound to be a controversial claim, and not received well in the American eyes. This is what the families are saying, the affected families who were in the village the night of the shooting happened. And so, maybe to some degree, Mr. Karzai feels he has to, it's more important to him to stand by the villagers and their account of things. But it certainly puts the two parties in a difficult situation with Mr. Karzai saying, the Americans are lying and they're not showing us the real video, they're not cooperating with our investigation, and the Americans saying, the opposite.
Okay, we have to leave it there. More on that on WSJ.com. Thank you very much, Charles Levinson, coming to us live from Kabul in Afghanistan.